Power flows to the one who knows how. Desire alone is not enough. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Autobots, roll out! We cannot let the humans pay for our mistakes. Autobots! Reap the whirlwind! One shall stand, one shall fall.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another Transformers Earth Wars stream. Wow, it's been some time since our last stream.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
Sorry for last week. There were some technical problems. We did try to run it, but apparently some other service didn't want to connect.
We tried though. We tried hard, but it couldn't happen.
But this time it's fine.
Just to make you feel even more bad, I did set time aside to watch the stream last week and you never appeared, so like many people, we were all disappointed that you couldn't go on last week. But it means we get more information hopefully this week, because most of it is all confirmed for HQ18 next week. So let's say some hellos. We've got quite a few people. I'm going to take Twitch.
I'll start Twitch actually,
Okay.
because that's the only one I have open right now.
Sure,
right, so hello Lord Draggear, Optimus Rodimus 19080, Crassus 737, Hoverbot 3141, Soundwave 1, Gondi Musp, Traplight, Medaron, X Darkfire 9X, Darth Tyler 00, Wolf Dragon Soul, Loki, and Cutie Fox.
cool.
And all the other people.
And then I will do YouTube. So we've got Andrew Stevenson. Hello to you. We've got Dodge Act. Sorry if I butchered your name. We've got Chip Cox. We've got Sir Tanley. We've got The Wrecker. We've got Vixen. And we've got Victor Was Taken. So hello to you. So big shout out.
And our friends from Facebook, right? It's the one missing. So Robson Marquez, Stephen C, Corey Speaks, that says hello guys, hello to you too. Matt Brandenburg, who else? Gary Beckwith, Jason Perry, Checkpoint Alpha, Neil Galthorpe, Wayne Jureski, and some other people joining us today. So yeah, welcome to everyone.
Oh, Daisy just posted. I just pinged Discord, but Daisy beat me to it, so shout out to Daisy as well. So let's see what people are saying on Twitch. Lord Dragger is saying, so Fabian got fired for the leaks. I'm not sure if he was there for that stream, Yanis. When Fabian posted our whole roadmap of 2020. No, Fabian is not feeling too great today.
Fabian is still around. Though I was there when they were saying that he's not watching, so we can ask the questions that he wouldn't allow us to do it. I was there just watching.
Damn.
Luckily, it wasn't the shit with all the secret codes that gives you goat mode into the game.
No.
Yeah.
Not that one.
Cool, so we've got lots to get through. We've got lots of questions to get through that you've been putting through for HU18. And we've got some new Cyberpass skins that we've not shown. These are a little bit different, aren't they? So we're not going to reveal too much just yet, but they are very different. Do you think players have seen these before in a toy design?
Did we not saw it in the newsletter?
No, because
what they are?
The big reveal has to come on stream.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, the people who have seen it in a toy, I can say you that much.
And it's not exactly a big surprise, right?
They're gonna be totally unique.
Yeah, we will see.
One of them anyway.
I don't think some players have put 2 and 2 together yet, so we'll see what they think when they reveal them. Because Big Blade's saying, so what will the new skins be? Some people are just What will they be? They just don't know. So we'll see. On to the event then. For this weekend, we have quite a long one, but it's quite short. It depends if you want to do it. It's individual. It's completely up to you if you want to do that or not. I'm not sure if we're showing the event.
Yeah, we'll show some. Let's go through it really quickly, and then we
Yes.
can continue with the rest. Cool. Oh wait,
Cool.
don't know if I picked.
There we go. Level in the field. Hyro, what's coming up this
So
weekend?
yeah, if you remember, some combat bots are doing a mecha soccer match, and it's continuing with the saga. It's a new saga, but it's kind of continuing the previous storyline. And in this case, it's the individual start of saga event. That means easy and easy to do. So you get the usual amount of 4-star shards. That's actually worth a 4-star. Some 3-star shards for some 3-star maybe dupes, maybe new bots, premium shards, then G1 G metal at the end, some gold power cores, drop XP. We had to put an end to the not an end, but the War for Cybertron skin core. Many players have them all already. So what happens now is that if you have collected your main faction ones and your alt faction ones, instead of skin core, because we'll have more, you will get some 3-star shards. And yeah, you are getting some spark and alloy and energon that will be helpful for the upcoming things in the game. If you want to go to the preview, well, it's the usual start of saga, right? We are aware last week you did a great job fighting for the new bots, and now you can take a rest with this one. It's kind of set up into 10k, 10,000 points. But if you have the time and you are willing to, you can go over the weekend with to get more points until the G1 G Metal. But the core of the event itself, it's at 10,000 points.
Oh.
Cool. And then we might as well touch up, because we're not doing a stream next week, we are going to have a non-dupe 4-star, right, Hyro, in next week's event. So not this week's event, it's going to be next week's event, because let's be honest, there's been quite a few there's been quite a few issues in the past 2 weeks, so it's the least we could do. I'm sure there's been lots of news about that, especially if you're a resident on Discord. You definitely know the news. I mean, it's been unavoidable for some of us in here.
Well, it's not a compensation. These things happen.
Yeah.
We have to understand that too. So we are not compensating, but we wanted to do something nice for the holidays. And of course, many people will be with their families, will be traveling, and maybe won't have the time to play. We understand that, and we actually support that. So the holiday big thing, that is the 4-star not duplicate, will happen next week. Next week, it will be easy to get. There will be more rewards in there, but yeah, it will be your chance to get a 4-star not duplicate.
Cool. And then Hyro, if you've got all the 4-star duplicates, what do you get for those people who are thinking, damn it, I'm not going to be able to benefit from this?
So 500 shards. It's a typical. You have seen this before, but in this case, will be from the premium lineup. And if you own all of them, you will get this 500 5-star shards.
Cool.
Getting you a step closer to your 5-star.
Pretty nice. And then obviously through Christmas, we've got 10k events. I think we've got 2 back-to-back 10k events. So lots of rest over Christmas, and then we're coming back. I believe it's the second week of January where we have a 1.5 million combat event, and then 2 weeks after that we have the endurance. So we'll be able to show the new combats in our next stream, which is in 2 weeks. It's going to be our last stream of the year. Anyway, HQ18, Yanis, we've got some questions on Discord.
Sure, let's go through them.
That we're going to go through. So I'm just going to prioritize. I do apologize in advance if we don't pick up your question. We appreciate everybody putting time in and posting them, but I just simply can't get through all of them. So top question then, when is it coming? When is HQ18 arriving?
I hope it's gonna arrive next week. If for any reasons that doesn't happen, then the week after. But yeah, we are close. I think we are still running like play testing. We're still doing a few like last minute balancing on some of the bots that need more love. Maybe not all of them are gonna get this love because there's a lot of changes we have actually done. But yeah, I think we are getting there. So hopefully either next week or the week after. But yeah, it will be this year.
Definitely this year.
I hope so.
Cool. So Galvatronus, so thanks for that question, Jericho, I think that's your name. So Galvatronus is asking, will the zones have Energon / alloy rewards raised with HQ18 incoming?
If the zone's gonna have raised energy
Yeah,
and alloy,
that's it. Yeah.
I don't think the maximum would raise. I think we tweak the minimum. So theoretically, if you attack someone that doesn't have like enough energy, you're gonna get a bit more. But the maximum has not changed.
Cool. So Vixen is asking, combiner-wise, will more than just Magnaboss be viable for HQ18? We're making a lot of changes to combiners, aren't we? Especially the force
I mean,
stats.
all the combiners are gonna be viable. Like all the forces are going to 25. There's a lot. I mean, I don't even want to go through like what changes there are because you need to wait for the newsletter because I'll definitely can't remember everything. But all the combiners have had, or nearly all the combiners get some love in abilities, and they all had an increase of health, how much health they have, so they can actually survive longer. Increase of levels from 20 to 25. There's like changes of the abilities for some of the ones that needed love. There's a lot of changes coming in, so all the combiners will be viable.
Cool. I guess I'm going to ask you this one because this has got a bit of a debate going on Discord at the minute. So Medaron is asking, will we have a bit of forewarning so we can get all our bots that are cooking out of the lab to get the XP boost? I think what players are mentioning is they think they're going to lose XP if they haven't gone into the lab before level 60. So
like if you go into the lab, you're wasting time because like XP is gonna get sorted before 60 and it's gonna get sorted above 60. Above 60, any XP that gets sorted means that you're gonna probably progress to maybe another level. If it was like, I don't know, 20 million to get to like 61, now it's gonna be much less than that. So if you have already collected 90 million, then you could be like 61 and something. The same happens on the previous levels. It's easier now to get to 60. But if you get to 60, then that XP that you collected or the effort that you do is not it resets, because when we upgrade on the research lab, then we forget any XP you have collected where you are on the research level. So if you're, for example, 58 or 59, it's better to probably wait until HQ18 comes, because that could probably potentially put you to 60 or closer. If you are at 60, or if you are at 50 or any other levels that require you to go to the research lab, then the XP always reset, and that's always how it was.
Yeah, so Medaron is also expanded on what he says. He says then it's wasted, right? So we need to be at level 61 to benefit the overflow on XP.
I mean, if you need to be a 61 and you have already need to have collected some XP in order to benefit, there's not that much of a benefit of a loss. Like it's easier now to level up to 60 and to level up above 60. Any XP that you had like on the way to some other level, you will gain it or you will keep it unless you are on a level that requires you to be on the research lab. Because when you go into the research lab, any XP accumulated there is getting lost when you do this upgrade. But anything else, if you are in between levels, all the XP that you have accumulated could transition into, the kind of like, you might gain a level, you might move forwards, but yeah, like this is a requirement. If you are sitting at 60 or you are at 59 and you have like just a million to go to get 60, then your bot's gonna get to 60. So you might lose some, but this is more kind of designed to make it easier for any future bots to get to those same levels.
Cool. Hopefully that also covers your question, Grey Mallion, because he's also asking. I have a few bots that close to level 60. Should I rush to get them to 61?
No. You should just keep it there, and then they might not need to get them to 60. They will straight away with the new changes. They will go to the cap, and then you just need to upgrade them.
Cool. So Shani523 saying, will the defense prime cores also be released with HQ18?
Yes. Not all of them, but it's the first batch of them. I think it is 5 of them will get released with HQ18.
Cool.
To add something though, I think there is a plan to not have those available for a deal you get to HQ 17. So this is not gonna, you won't be able to access or purchase this with the Prime core shards. You won't be able to see the chest to buy them until you get HQ 17. There was a lot of kind of discussions like, we don't want this to come in on a lower HQ level because it's gonna make it harder to power level. So we decided to kind of cap them on the higher level HQs.
Will Superion is saying, what defenses will be added extra to which we have now in Phase 1?
Sorry?
Which defenses will be added extra to which we have now? So any additional buildings? Or
No
anything
defense
like
on the first wave. It's kind of like, it's not even all the buildings getting an upgrade. It's the newsletter, we're going to have the detail. There's specific buildings, like a lot of the resources buildings, some of the defensive buildings are going to get the upgrade. There's no additional buildings, so you don't going to get any of the previous ones. You're not going to get a new one. It's only going to be, a small level ups, because we want to do it in stages. We want to, introduce some buildings, some resources, some upgrades, some of the defenses you have. The prime course, the difficulty is going to get harder, and we want the players to catch up and with that and then get used to it, and then we will have a second wave where we introduce more defenses, more the levels to them, and then maybe there will be a third wave, and then we'll start thinking about adding the new functionality or new defenses over that. We think like a lot of the things like the prime course plus the passive effects that you get from the Titans already kind of add something extra. Also the new power cores that will be for HQ and like for the new drone pods. There's a lot of added functionality already that we don't want to swamp players with a new defense. That's going to come later.
Cool. Just going back to the Prime Core question, are they going to remain at the same price of 5,000 shards?
No. It's going to be more expensive. It's going to
expensive.
be 7,500 shards, I think. We were discussing it today. Might change, but I think like a lot of players have accumulated. It's kind of because we targeted for a high level HQ. Only has to be a bit more expensive than the board cores. I think for a lot of the starting players, you need to focus on your board cores. That's the most important. When you get to 17 and 18, at that point, hopefully you should have get most of the board ones, and then you can actually start getting focused on the defensive ones.
Cool. Starlord's asking, what is the minimum player level to get to HQ 18?
I don't remember from the top of my head what we said it to. I think that will be part of the newsletter.
Cool. Will companion bots be scaled or made to stay in a radius of equipped bots so they don't die with 5 seconds of deployment? That was
what?
Yeah, I don't think this is.
Sorry,
really
can you say again? Companion bots? I did not get the question.
Yeah, will companion bots be scaled or made to stay in a radius of the equipped bots so they don't die with 5 seconds of deployment? Have we made any changes to companion bots?
Not that I remember, but there is some. We might need to have a look at some of them going forwards. I don't know if we'll be adding new levels or just buff the health. But a lot of them are, except for the initial ones, are kind of like sitting on the back anyway, and it's kind of your responsibility to kind of make them kind of stay away on the back and have other on the front. But yeah, we need to I mean there's a strategy involved there too, but sometimes they will run and they will die. But cool. That's part of the companions. Like they're meant to help you for a bit, but you don't want them to always stay back, and then you have like 10 companion bots running around.
Cool. Hiro, I'm gonna ask you a question because it's all been Yanis, and I need to give him a little bit of a minute or so to just get his thoughts together.
Go for it.
Fortress Maximus. Did you want more questions, Yanis?
I mean, the same time trying to fix something. So
right.
You can wait for other things.
You're good at multitasking then. I didn't even realise. Fortress Maximus event. So we did postpone this. It was going to be next week, Hiro. We've got a question. When is it coming? The
somewhere in the future. Not long ago. I mean, it won't take a long time for you to see, but it will be early 2023, quite early.
I think it will be. I mean, there will be the next saga after this. Most probably. We do want it to. I mean, the reason why we wanted it to happen this year was because we do want to get the 4-star Fortress Maximus and Scorpio knockout, because that allows. Because a lot of players are now to the point that they're nearly maxing them on level 20. So, and then having the 4-star would actually mean that people can actually change and have the different benefits from having the different titans. At the moment, there's only one viable titan, but yeah, like it was a bit kind of like too many high, like really grand events, so that's why we decided to postpone it. But next saga for sure, I think we need to get it out, because like we need to give the option for players to change the titan, because it customizes a lot of things, especially with HQ18.
Cool. Another one for you then, Hyro. 3-star part. When will that be coming?
So ideally next week.
Ideally next week. That's cool. Skywarp is asking, I guess this is a little bit too generic. He's saying how much Z Energon will be needed to upgrade?
I mean, a lot.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it goes up. It's not going up massively from the one that's HQ17, but you definitely, even if you full like 3 millions, you will need to start getting more. It's not gonna be enough. There's a lot of buildings to be upgraded, so you will need a lot. So you need to start farming more if you'll be just sitting there on 3 million. But 3 million will probably be enough for you to do a lot of upgrades.
Cool. So with HQ18 comes cross faction as well. That's going to be active from hopefully next Thursday, right? Is that still the plan?
Cross-faction alliances?
Cross-faction alliances.
Actually, they will be available when the new client goes out, because the client, it says some kind of it cannot. The current client doesn't. If you pick an alliance that's not your alliance, it just tells you no. But that will be lifted. So whenever we hopefully we release this week the new client, then you should be able to start searching for alliances that are not your main function alliances and join them.
Awesome. I'm going to ask this question because I don't know if this player is confused. Do 65 plus upgrades will require shards of some kind? So
no,
that's not the case.
Yeah, you don't need to upgrade it. You don't need to do anything. It will straight away. If you have any accumulated XP, you can actually maybe go in and the boat is gonna be already level 66. There's not like a step upgrade. Like our step upgrades are usually every 10 levels. So this means that this one is just straight away can the XP that you have already accumulated will straight away you go into your bot. So it will be partially, if you have used it after he goes to 65, it will be partially to 66, or it could be 66, or sometimes if you've been like just power leveling with this one bot forever, it might get to 67 straight away. Some of the playtesters, at least the bots were just straight away went to 67.
Cool. So I've got another question for you. Will you all add new contents to the Shanix store, like 5-star bots?
We always say the same question, the same answer. There are no plans to add any 5-star further in the Shanix shop.
Cool. Okay, so
we will be updating it over time with other stuff that we see interesting. But yeah, the 5-star was a one-time thing only.
Cool. Thanks for that, Hyro. So we're going to just change the topic just a little bit, and we're going to talk about Top Shot because we couldn't have a chance to talk about it last week. I think players thought that our approach to Top Shot was more that we came in one morning and we decided that he was too powerful, and then we decided to change him. But that was not the case. What did you learn from development side? Because obviously me and Daisy kept coming to you when the change had been made, and then we kept saying to you, the players still don't think Top Shot's quite right, and then you compared both designs, and then you saw that they were actually different. Like, how did we find that, and how did it really come about? Because players just think that we planned it, or some players do anyway.
I know exactly the steps that we followed and how we start working on Top Shot. Like, I think Top Shot is just, it's a bot, right? Like there was a design, like I can't remember like what happened when we started designing Top Shot. I think what happened is we were trying to push a fix with the damage over time attacks at the moment when there's other effects in the battle like extra damage on the buildings. That the buildings, the zone means that the buildings do extra damage. That means that they're taking more extra damage from the damage over time attacks. If they're doing less damage, then they're taking actually less damage. So there's other effects actually applying on the damage over time that is shouldn't. So we try to put this fix, and then we figure out that Topshot was using a lot of that tech that he shouldn't be. There should have been a clearer way of having the bot that actually uses Topshot to do his damage on the buildings. Not having the building has a kind of like you have to take less damage, more damage from fire in order to get the correct damage over. So we changed that, and that's what started this. I think Fabian was then when like this is the description of Topshot, and this is what we're gonna be trying to get him to do this the area of effect damage on all the targets, and simple as that, and cut off any damage that he does directly from the bot's DPS on the target that you're actually hitting. So he actually went with with what was in the description. When I tested it, like again, I was focusing to see that the damage, what the description was saying was actually happening. The damage over time was correctly applying the DPS of the bot on all buildings around it. Like I didn't even know that they used to be like applying the extra damage on the building itself. Fabian knew, and Fabian decided that that's how he wanted the bot to be working for. Because it's a lot of powerful. Like on 5-star, you have 120 extra damage. 100, so it's like 120% of the damage of the bot that you're doing in an area of target. No other kind of like combat bot actually does that much damage. Adding that on top of the bot's DPS, that means you're doing nearly like 220 damage on one target, and then plus the 120% damage, so plus 25% damage of your DPS on all the targets surrounding. So it goes to OP. And so for him, like we cannot do that. It shouldn't be like that. It should be kind of like his purpose is to do damage on an area, but he needs to sacrifice some of the damage he's actually doing on this single target. It's a lot of like how the incendiary power core does for the cannons. It makes the cannon go explode and do damage on a distance instead of, and you lose the damage it actually does on a single target. So there's the same kind of theory. And yeah, I know the impact on that on most of the battles are not that much because if you are more than a couple of defenses there, you do need Topshot because Flak does area damage and Nightstick probably do the same, but only like a small amount of damage actually spills over from your main target. Topshot actually does this whole damage on all the targets in the area. So it gives you, if you're fighting against that scenario, it actually gives you an effect. If you're fighting against Sacticons, which just kind of like, sum your bots, you want Topshot because they will just do like one hit, destroy all the sacks going on. But it has disadvantages when you power level, because what everyone else was trying to do is put him on cap and then send cap to the HQ, and then the HQ will be getting like, I guess, 220 damage, and then you'll be able to in 30 seconds destroy the HQ. So that adds a lot of extra time in power leveling, and that's, I think, is most of the problems that a lot of players have. Because I mean, we did offer like compensation because we did change the bot past what happened, but I can understand why people are not happy because they were power leveling, and that adds a lot of extra time on that, on power leveling and actually going through the events and actually getting it through reaching like the high level points that you need to do in the events. For us though, like I think this is a separate issue to Topshot. Yeah. I think this behavior of doing 460 battle with one bot rushing to the HQ is not that great, from the aspect that you're wasting you're spending a lot of time doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not a fun way to play the game. We need to find, like, maybe we're not even aware like that's the behavior a lot of players were spending or was actually using in the events. There's something we need to figure out and like going forwards and seeing like maybe there's better ways probably to to contribute in the events that more fun and maybe doesn't take as much time. And this is not just making Topshot like doing triple damage or double damage. It's like like just there must be other ways. So this is something we want to look at in the new year, because yeah, like 440 fights again, just rushing on the HQ, which I guess in 5 hours or 6 hours, it's just not fun. It's like, but we need to figure out how the solution is to that.
So do you think
Yeah.
the team are probably looking into a solution where a player could probably do half the battles, but get the same
Yes.
amount of points in that time?
Yes, there will be something similar like that. Like, try to reduce the number of battles. Maybe like add some extra. Maybe you get like the battles maybe won't last that like 30 seconds. It will be a bit more, but at least you get more points, so you can actually, you don't have to do that many battles. But it's still under consideration. Like, but this is something we want to change for sure.
Cool. So Illicit Pulse has said 2OP. This is a bit upsetting to hear you say this after 2.5 years of it being in the game. I've used Top Shot, but it seems when we play the game, we're not actually doing the maths. I don't know if you're the same when you're playing with Top Shot. You're not. I'm just enjoying the game.
You put something like, because you see the description and then you see the damage. Like, you don't go and sit there and like, unless you have play testing and you try at that point to go through all the numbers that you deal, you don't go sit there and say like, oh, it does damage on the building, and then we just leave it there because yeah, it's OP, we know it, we just broke it. We designed it like, I don't know what happened during playtesting and why that was not discovered, or it was discovered and decided to be left. Like, but yeah, we were using Top Shot because of the area damage, and it's still like one of the best combat bots. People don't agree. Like, you cannot agree. Like, my 5-star is still staying where he is, and he's still as good as he was. Like, yeah, maybe it's a little bit less damage on a current target, but it still does 125% of DPS on all the areas of the target, and it's still good enough, and it's probably still one of the best combat bots. If people don't like it, that's why we had the compensation thing. So yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Which is all resolved now, so that is good. So swiftly moving on back onto HQ18 now. We've got another for you, Hyro. Actually, any plans of new achievements with HQ18 or change of the achievements for reaching level 65 since the max bot level gets increased?
So it's been a while. We haven't updated achievements, so I think yes, it should be coming next year for sure. Not only HQ, but other things that have a scale, they should come with the achievement.
Cool.
And I will write it down.
Nice. You remember that, Hyro. People always love achievements. Wingdings is asking, will the effects of certain build bot cores stay even when they are taken out, or prime core effects on defense? I think that they're talking about the new cores being on buildings, Yanis. If they take those buildings out, does that effect still remain in the battle, or can they take out the building and then the effects?
I mean, this is kind of like a wide discussion. Like, if you're talking about power cores or prime cores, if you put it on the billboards or any other building, if you destroy it, then the effect is gonna go away. The only most of the times it just goes away. If an effect lives on the drone pod or some other building and you destroy it, it just goes away. It's not gonna stay behind. I think the counter to the rule is like some of the new Prime League effects where,
MDS.
if you get the MDS, if the missile tower hits you, then you're already stuck. But that's a bit different.
Cool. Dead Google says, with building upgrades, assuming they will require red energon, will the supply of red energon be increased from all sources, mission and elimination mode?
No plan to increase red energon.
Okay, Darkfire is asking, will the rank up be active next Thursday? This is class rank ups.
So the class ranks were gonna be active when HQ18 goes out. If HQ18 goes out next week, then class ranks are gonna be active. If it goes a week after, then class ranks will follow up with HQ18.
Cool, and I guess another probably players are thinking, is that price locked in? Some feedback over the last few weeks has been they feel
not at
like
990,000.
No, not that one, but the one we announced. I think it
Yes.
was like the other values. I think players were saying actually the class shards are too low. They actually think they could be high, but the character shards are actually too high. Maybe they could come down. Do you think there's any more balance going on there?
I think the meta changed, and a lot of how many shards you get has changed. Like, just playing and just opening a lot of crystals not a lot of crystals, like some crystals, not like as much as people bought in Black Friday. Like I got so many like class shards or character shards, like so many 4-star crystals, so many like 3-star crystals. This and all like you get a 4-star crystal, that's like 1,000 character shard on that one bot. So you need pretty much like so there's so many like that you get nowadays that we think that the new economy is actually justified and the price we have actually do. We will be monitoring in the future, but the more it looks like like there's a lot of extra resource or like crystals and a lot of shards that you're gonna be getting all over the place that we think that
Yeah,
is.
we have seen like one event since the release of the new meta, and over the next weeks you will notice that everything has scaled exponentially, right? As Yanis mentioned, it's way easier to get a 4-star, 3-star, and that sums up a lot. Thinking on a free-to-play player, right? That you get the stuff from events, from the free crystals, but it's maybe too early to just based on recent results how hard will be to get this, because we'll have more events and you will realize you are getting quite a good income of these
Yeah.
shards.
Plus, there's other ways to increase ranks. There's a reward that increase your rank that will be added somewhere.
See, you are smiling about it, Yanis, but I think that is the genuine concern that free-to-play players are thinking, this is the price, this is the only way I'm going to get it, and I don't open many crystals anyway. Is there going to be other ways for me to advance?
There are other ways to upgrade, which we'll discuss when the time comes to introduce them, but there are other ways that you can increase a rank.
Cool.
Yeah,
so
and I wouldn't say you are not opening many crystals really, even for a free to play. If you consider the easy events,
I mean, just
there
premium.
is a lot of openings there.
Yeah, there's like even for like free or premium crystals or free crystals, you get a lot right now. And from events, if you participate in events, like it's like you just was playing the other week, and it was like I mean I had like 200 like premium crystals, and I was like I don't even know how a lot of these are coming, but we are actually giving a lot now. Like 4-star crystals, like it's easier. Like even from free crystals, if the chances of getting 3 stars have increased, that means you get more easy to get a 4-star crystal, and then that means a duplicate if you don't have the bot, and that means 1,000 character shards. So it's not that bad, but it's something we need to be aware of for the future. But I think at the moment we still need to live with it and see how people progress with it.
Yeah, but would you say that for a free-to-play player, it will take them maybe 2 to 3 years? Would you say that long?
I don't know exactly the time. Of course, 2 to 3 years is not what we want, right? Okay. We can always adjust these things. But of course, the big difference between a player that is willing to spend on bundles and a player that is just playing the game, it should be time, right?
I will add that, like, though free-to-play implies that this is required for you to play this game.
Yeah.
Like, which is not a goal for this. Like a lot of the HQ18 was kind of like designed to like, can you as a 67 with 67 bots can actually defeat this? The class ranks should come on above to say like, well, do you need some extra help in order to do like hard mode or prime league hard mode? Then you might need to be actually going into the class ranks. So a lot of it is there. It's not really required. This is a way like we used to balance for 4-star and then 5-stars game. And this is like, we have 5 stars now that's more easily accessible for more players. And these things comes on top. It's another kind of layer, but it shouldn't be everyone has it straight away. Or it's something that's required straight away for, the release of HQ18.
And it's not like the game's going to be balanced around these rank systems straight away. And players are going to think, well, if I don't have these ranks, I can't play war and I can't play the game anymore. It's not going to be like that, is it? Right?
It will give you an edge if you have it, but it shouldn't be a requirement.
Cool. So I guess we'll just wrap this up. So Pro Gamer's saying it will 100% take 1 to 2 years just for the first 2 ranks. Those are supposed to be easy, but I think we can all agree here that it's a new currency and it's something that you're always watching.
I don't even think it will be 2 years. I think straight away when we release this, people will be first rank.
Cool.
Like from all the things we have introduced already, you'll be near close to the first rank. But people can think, I guess, and do the calculations as they want.
Yeah.
But it's not required to have it. it's something you need to work on.
I think when players are mentioning this, they forget that the character shards have doubled. Like you've
Yeah.
mentioned, Hyro, there's lots of crystals coming in. I don't think they realise this new economy, and I think it's maybe the same for us as well, because I am getting a lot of character crystals now as well.
You have to like when you start, when it gets introduced and you go into the store and you see what you have collected, then you can actually see, oh, I'm nearly like level 1, and that's kind of like 2 weeks after we introducing new kind of like, you know, drop rate changes. So give it time.
Yeah, give it time, and like Yanis has mentioned, there will be things coming, but nothing just yet. So don't panic. Don't panic. Everything's going to be okay.
I see some calculations there share that it doesn't take in account everything, right? Okay, if you take the baseline of bundles, the worst ones in game, and then you try to do the calculations, it gives a number, and it's unrealistic because usually we have, if you are a spender, we have pretty good deals over the weekends, over seasons, Black Friday, and if you are not a spender, it's also okay. You have a big income of shards and crystals and openings. I mean, every event practically you can get like a 4-star, 3 or 4 3-stars, several premium crystals to open, and that sums up a lot. So
Anyway.
I would let weeks happen to see how you get your collections in.
I think we can move on with that because
yes, we've kind of covered everything. Things
it's
are
like
coming.
people need to experience it and people will have their opinion for sure. I think
sure.
it's too early to do
it's
anything.
Always.
Cool. Let's show the new Cyberpass skins because we do have them now.
By the way, what is the Cyberpass? We're working on that, so it will start a bit later today. We're fixing some stuff.
I'm trying to fix
But don't
that.
worry, it's coming. We are doing the stream and fixing things and multitasking to have it ready. Now you can share it.
Nice. Well, we are super excited to share these skins. So we didn't put them in the newsletter because I knew there was a stream this week, and I thought we needed to do the reveal, not the newsletter, because they are amazing. So for this Cyberpass, and this is going to be for this Cyberpass only, you can get them a little bit earlier. Hyro has kindly put them in, I think, in the third bracket of the Cyberpass, Hyro. It's somewhere around there, but you should be able to get these.
It's super early.
Yeah, super early. You should be able to get these for Christmas. Remember, it's just for this Cyberpass only, but these are the skins, and look at them. They are amazing. Santa Prime did in fact make it into the game.
He's Holiday Prime. It's not Santa Prime.
Well, he's Santa Prime to me. It could be Holiday Prime to some other people. Sorry, I can't say your name. He says, better not be Optimus in a Santa hat. Well, I'm a bit disappointed we didn't have the Santa hat, to be honest.
No Santa hat. And that's something that already exists. If you've seen it in HasLab, that's a toy that Hasbro has released. So we didn't go original there.
But we did with Megatron, right? It's
We
not
did.
on the Hasbro pools, and we kind of engineering this thing called Magnanimous Megatron, I guess, or Holidays Megatron.
Holiday Megatron. Everyone can enjoy Holiday, even Decepticons.
Yeah, actually it is. We'll have a dialogue about that as usual, written by Simon Foreman, and you will see them.
So Calvin is asking, is Hasbro making a Holiday Megatron, or is that our own skin?
That's our own skin. I have no idea what Hasbro is doing. If you see it in like a year's time, I'll just ask Hasbro, can we get a bit of cut of the of the toy sales?
So I guess this is the first time then we've put a skin in the game which has not been from a toy.
Yes, I mean a lot of them are inspired anyway. It's really hard because our skins is what other in it's like a retool or G2 or interpretation of another toy, and in those cases I guess we can only just keep the color base. It's not something that Hasbro has released. We're just taking inspiration from that and from other fan creations and other things, but yeah, this is something that has a base on something based on the lore, so it's something new. But yeah, we got the approval to do it if we wanted to, because it's just a skin. So who knows what else could come in the future. But we still want to kind of keep with the lore when we can, and mostly.
Well, honestly, I will be really disappointed if we don't get Halloween skins. So
Halloween skins. That's an interesting one.
So much with Halloween, so I'm so excited for that. Cool. Somebody's just mentioned it as well. Can we see a ghosty skin maybe for Halloween?
That
Or
would be
maybe
This
awesome.
is
next
this is
Halloween.
what this is what we're
Maybe
digging.
next Halloween. Like, stuff like that. Like, having a skin that's like a bit spooky, it's something seasonal. We can do it because after a point, also you're running out of like inspired lore-based skins. So it's nice to be able to do some explorative ones or some, even sometimes we could ask like, fans, like, do you want to design, a different look for some of our characters?
That would be
And
amazing.
maybe they can suggest something and something we can end up having in the game. So if we have this freedom, then we can do things like that. That would be really cool to do.
Yeah, that would be amazing. We'll do something like that next year, so you can hold me to it. We are definitely going to do something like that next year. Get some players designing some skins. Maybe we can have like love hat cups. They can be in like we can have like a love hat on his front. Loads
I
of
love
hats
that.
around.
I guess the line will be a bunny Optimus and
Bunny Optimus.
We
We can
st-
do
we
it
st-
all.
We still need to respect the characters, but yeah, let's not do something. I
let's
don't
not
know.
do that.
But yeah.
Cool. So cautious on time because we have only got 15 minutes. We've also got trivia as well, so I'm just going to quick fire some questions at you, and you can say, I guess, yes or no, or if you want to go in depth, that's fine. Will battle boosters be overhauled to make them more useful at HQ18?
I don't think we have a plan for that yet.
Okay. Please test HQ18 very well before it goes public. We're trying, aren't we? We have actually pushed it, I think, to beta to test it. It's tough, isn't it? We can't test everything.
Like, I mean, HQ18 has a new buildings. That's simple. Then you get all the upgrades we've done on the combiners, all the upgrades we've done on the bots, which is, I don't know, so far we've changed like 20 or 25 bots, like all the combiners. Something is gonna break. Hopefully nothing bad, and hopefully we can fix it soon enough. But it's impossible to test every single thing that we're gonna be releasing. Otherwise, that's not gonna go out for another 2 months or something.
I would also say it's kind of unrealistic to test everything because this game's obviously been around now for nearly 7 years. There's so much to do about the game.
Yeah. Like there's combinations of abilities, there's things like that. It's just impossible to do everything. Like even if you have a huge QA team, they can't go through like all the bots every time we do an update and then test them. Like we need to do like we're in a position, unfortunately, which I'm not really happy, but we have to utilize a bit of the community. But some of this stuff is super easy for us to go and fix after people discover it. I would love if we had the capacity to test everything, but we don't, unfortunately.
Cool. So Trax is asking, how do you plan on structuring and rebalancing the zones? Will it be like last time where it causes player to go back to the lower zones, such as if you're used to playing in zone 14, now you're going to be in zone 12? How's that going to work?
We're not doing a massive rebalance on that. Like maybe I need to have another look, but I think the idea that we added an extra zone on top of the currently. I think the biggest one is 15. So we added the zone 16, and then we moved the prime zone to again be at the end of the zones. So zone 15 used to be HQ 17 max plus some HQ 17 that's really early days. So what we've done is we took a lot of the really strong HQ 17s and all the new HQ 18s that's gonna come in, and we put it into a new zone. So this will be hardcore stuff, like the hardest challenge you have right now plus any upgrades from now on. So this new zone is, if you're gonna go there, it's gonna be pretty hard. And so zone 15 is gonna be a bit easier because you're not gonna have the maxed, like everything MDS is like all the powerful combiners in zone 15. So it will be a bit more approachable. So that's the main change we've done so far.
Cool. Again, we've still got so many questions about this whole XP thing, so I'm not going to ask you another question about the bot XP because people still keep thinking they're losing millions of XP because you've already covered that. So I'm going to move on from that one. Not sure if you want to add anything else because players are still talking about it.
I mean, it's not correct. Like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you can. Yeah, let's move on.
So what's coming next for Transformers Air Force then? What are the team working on after HQ18? Can you tell us anything about what's to come next year?
Can hint some spoilers. I think our biggest focus after New Year will be alliances.
Alliances.
There will be
Nice.
improvements on alliances, but I'll leave it at that. What
Nice.
exactly those are going to be.
That's going to be interesting because people keep asking for those. Does that involve tournaments? Where are we at with war tournaments? Because that's something we spoke about.
Like, there could be anything and everything.
Okay.
Tournaments, we want to. It gets hard in a way because of the player behavior in events. When when a tournament lasts, like you're gonna last, I don't know, 10 or 15 days, and then event comes where people need to move alliances. What do you do at that point? So there's a lot of questions. That's why I don't want to promise this is gonna happen, because we need to kind of make it fit in a way with the behavior of players to change alliances for events. But we're trying to get all that stuff done.
Nice one. Cool. Shani's asking, will we see HQ18 Wars combat spec added to rewards, Hyro? A player's asking.
Sorry?
Will we add combat spec to war rewards?
To war rewards. There are no plans for that at the moment, really.
Cool.
Still, we'll have them on events as usual, on the battle pass. So
cool.
So let's
talk quickly then about the 5-star vote. Players are asking, why no tracks, cups? Will we ever see them as 5-star bots?
You will, but we want to be able to add them when we want to add them. You're definitely gonna see cup, no tracks. Cup at some point. It's not really a priority
twins?
because all these bots eventually will get 5 stars, but all these bots are also quite strong or also can create problems. Like again, we don't want people, 5-star cup, so rush on the HQ, destroy the HQ, so you can shorten your 450 event battles. I don't think that's a way to approach it, but at some point they will come, but not right now. And we don't. If we were to put that into the poll, that's gonna be people who vote. So we want to still choose when we want to add them.
Cool. Hyro, let's move on to some questions. Trivia, even.
Yeah,
amazing.
sure. We have some trivia as usual from Nathan. Thank you very much for your knowledge. And these are the easy ones, actually. I guess he's on the spirit and making things easy for everyone. So question number 1, if you know the answer, just drop down your player name, HQ level, alliance name, and you may win a freebie. Question number 1 says, who voiced Jazz in the G1 cartoon?
Cool.
So G1 cartoon, Jazz, who voiced him?
Yeah, get your name, HQ, and alliance in the chat with your answer, and we'll pick some winners in just a second. So going back to the 5-star batch, Yanis, I think some players are thinking, okay, we've had 3 endurances, we're going to have the 3 bots, plus community choice, plus your choice.
No.
What is going down with that batch?
We don't know exactly yet, but the was gonna be 2 because the one board we just had it, so it needs to wait. Also, in the future, we want to increase the number of batches we release because now it's more easy for people to get 5-star shards. So it could be in a position where you get one of the endurance bots and other bots. The idea is slowly just try to get as many bots as we can to be a 5-star. So they will be speeding up. So I don't know if this one we're gonna have 2 or 1 of the endurance bots, but definitely not 3. So there will be 1 community voted, 1 of the endurance, probably the earliest one for sure, and then the rest is gonna be down to our selection.
Cool. And Hyro has some winners. So Hyro, do you want to announce winners, or do you want me to do that? It's up to you.
Yes, well, it's okay. We did it quick this time. So the answer is Scanman Brothers. And the winners from YouTube is Chip Cox, that is Cage1123 in the game. From Twitch is Medaron, who is also Medaron in the game. And from Facebook is Stephen Seith, who is Burnout Prime. I guess it helps for your burnout to get some freebies. So question number 2, it's also an easy one. So name the 3 bots of Reflector.
Cool. Same again. Name, HQ, and alliance in the chat, and we'll pick some winners. So we've got a question here from Iron Warpath saying, how come 4-star and 5-star Transformers are getting 2 more levels, but not Amiga Supreme and Overlord?
What?
The combiners. So I think their question is, because they did say transformers, but they do mean combiners, because they go into level 25 now. Why
Okay,
is
yeah, I
the
got you.
biggest?
I
Yeah,
got
why are
it
they
now.
not moving?
Well, because we don't want to be that much of massive gap between 5-star and 4-star combiners. We don't want to push people towards a 5-star combiner. We want that to be kind of like, yeah, you get it, and he has an extra ability, and that ability would be cool. But we don't want that to be, because a lot of people are worried, like, adding HQ, like another 5-star combiner, like how much it's gonna cost to upgrade to that. Like, we want to make it kind of something unique and something that people have to achieve for, not required. So by increasing the level of 20 from the 4 stars means there is quite a close parity. The 5 stars could be a bit stronger. We're gonna have an extra ability, but that's gonna be that. Yeah, we don't want to add, everyone has like, well, it's required to have the 5-star, or make it, because that's really hard to get. That's why we don't want to do that. That's always what I've said. So that's why we don't want to increase the levels of the 5-star combiner.
Cool. We kind of haven't shown anything, so I'm not sure if you want to actually show anything in game of
3
anything.
minutes left.
Yeah,
There's not gonna be time to do anything.
We've just had so much questions on HU18. We just had to get through so much, I'm afraid. So, but I feel like we've already showed pretty much everything, right? I don't think there's anything that we haven't shown at this point.
I mean, I think we've shown the ranks, we've shown the prime cores, so we've solved stuff, and there's gonna be a big update in the newsletter with all the changes we have done. Like,
It's
even
gonna be a
like,
long newsletter.
if we go and I don't know, probably haven't solved the new changes on the combiners and the bots, and I mean that's gonna be sitting like speaking through all the changes, and that'll be it. Maybe we'll do that in the last in the last stream, where we just can go through for the people that have not read the news feed, and we just go through that. But we kind of want to finish before we actually get into that. And also, yeah, Fabian is not here, so just like, yeah, don't want to start showing some of the stuff.
From what I've seen from Fabian's notes already, there's a lot of things getting buffed, like a lot of old content.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
Like a lot of bots. I mean, there's like people are asking us like, you're nerfing Top Shot, but like at the same time, like we think we balanced Top Shot to be where it needs to be, and then we went and buffed another like 30 bots that for free of like charge, because we thought that they need to be a bit stronger. This is a balance of the game that we try to keep. Maybe not, maybe sometimes badly. Maybe some people don't agree with it, but like our intentions is to just have some balance, and a lot of people will be disagreeing, or people say you did it too late, but that's what we want to do. That's why we want to give some love to the bots that are not used, not because it's gonna make us more money or anything. It's just because we think like they should be deserving to have some some extra care on some of these bots.
And it's not just going to stop at that 30. There's going to be way more after this, isn't it? We've got phase 2 to come, we've got phase 3 to come, so you're going to pretty much every bot is going to, well, I say every bot, a good portion of bots.
It could be a lot. I mean, it's also hard. Like, it's also really hard when you do these balances to not make a bot OP, but just making any changes. We don't have that much time to test every single bot we change. So, like, we just like, we made a list, we put like all the abilities and all the maximum level bots for all of them, and we just, think about, is this fits, does this, what lab does it take, and then it's all suggestions, and all the time, like, or where do we want to take the direction. We might not pay up, and we might, like, some of them might not be still good enough, but we want to try at least.
So if anybody goes into Cybertron or Discord and say we never buff content, I'm going to post them the next week's newsletter to them, because there's a lot. Anyway, I'm cautious of time. Hyro, winners please.
Yes, answer was Spectro, Spyglass, and Viewfinder. Winners, Twitch, Darthyler00. Way, YouTube, Jason Wright. Congratulations. Facebook, Bijou Barguis. Congratulations to all of them. You will get a freebie.
Cool, and then I'm going to end on this shout out from Toff Monra, because it's really nice and I think we need it. I got to say, as an old Transformers fan and still active VIP member of the fan club through Hasbro, I just want to say thank you for making this game. It's been a blast all the time I've played it, and I enjoyed it. That is a really lovely comment.
Nice.
That's a really nice comment to end, and that is our stream for this week. We've shown not much, but we spoke about a lot, and there's going to be more to come in 2 weeks.
A lot of controversial questions. A lot of people gonna be hating me, but that's.
He loves you, really. So there we go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a tough few weeks, but we're getting back on the right path. So thank you, everybody.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in
for
2
the
weeks.
last
The
stream
last
of the
stream
year.
of the year.
Last stream of the year, yes, so don't miss it. We're going to see if we can get Yanis in a Santa hat, maybe. We'll see. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.